Good morning. I am going to go ahead and do the morning report. I don't know what the trail is going to look like today. Yesterday, my morning report did not record. I keep checking to see that it's still recording. Yesterday, I left out of Pochuck Mountain Shelter. Nobody else had stayed there. About 5 miles up, I got to a road crossing. I met a very kind follower there who just happened to be out for a day hike. She told me that there was a farmer's market that had ice cream and pastries, clean restrooms, so I went down there and I had a double scoop of coffee fudge ice cream. And I also bought a pastry that was 50% off. It was probably about, I don't know, 8, maybe 12 inches long. Was a cream cheese pastry. So I ate part of it and cut it in half, and I've got 2 of those for breakfast. My mail drop is not working out as I intended, so I needed another breakfast or 2. So that was fortuitous. Yesterday, after that, did not work out as I thought or as I had planned. Water sources were sketchy, and the water sources there were brown. And I've encountered this before, that even after you filter it, it's still brown. I went off trail for about half a mile to get water out of a spigot, and it tasted like rust. And the toilets at that state park where I got the water were stained with rust. So I prayed that God would purify that water, and do you know that when I took a drink later, I couldn't taste the rust. So I was praising God for that. The trail was incredibly hard. After that farmer's marketplace, I did the Stairway to Heaven, and it was a long, steep climb, the likes of which I have not seen in a long time. Then after that, there were rock scrambles and rock climbs, hand-over-hand climbs. There was one place where there was a rebar ladder, and I do not remember this section at all. It's crazy. And I was carrying 3 liters of water when I got water at this state park. That was at about the 11-mile mark, because I intended to stealth camp, but I had no idea what was before me. So it was getting on to be 4 or 5 o'clock. I was nearing 20 miles. No place to camp. At the end, there might have been places to camp, but there were warnings and far out that there was a mama bear with 4 cubs that was territorial. So I saw that there was a hostel. It was one that was not there, to my knowledge, when I went through in 2016 and 18, called Lost and Found. And I called them to see if they had a bunk, and they did. The guy sounded really nice, and at that point, the road I got off was 21 point something miles. I was dead. I was all foggy-headed, could barely think. I was dehydrated, and my feet and legs were hurting. I was tired. I could just hardly think. So he picked me up. It was late. They were going to offer a shuttle in, but I didn't want to go. I was too tired. So I asked them to heat me up some water, if they would, and I ate out of my bag. And I did not get to bed early. I edited my video. I'm sorry it was so short, but I didn't take much footage, and I lost my morning report. Yesterday was over, when there weren't hand-over-hand climbs, there were up and down over rock slabs, and it was tiresome. So I heard people talking about slack packing today, and I heard that it was donation based. The cost for the hostel here is $45. That includes laundry. And we had a tremendous breakfast this morning. It was a hiker's breakfast. Eggs, I think it was 3 eggs. Breakfast potatoes. Bacon, I don't know how many pieces. Fresh fruit of all kind. They even had mango, watermelon, bananas, cherries, grapes, apples. I know I'm forgetting something. And then toward the end he came out with blueberry pancakes. So I had an excellent breakfast this morning. And I did decide to do a slack pack. And I decided to do a short one, but it's going to be tough. Of about 12 miles. So I'm hiking south today. And I think it's a good decision because I'll be able to get a shower and then go into town without it being really late when I have to do it. It will also give me some time to upload videos and recharge things. Because as I was telling you before, I am anticipating a long stretch without staying in a hostel. I'm going to pick up my box in Fort Montgomery and move on through. And that is a little bit of a concern because I need to pick it up by Saturday or midday Saturday. So the beds were really, really comfortable. And I'm on an upper bunk, but it turns out that that was a blessing because there is a lit up exit sign right by my bunk, and they had hung a little privacy curtain there. And there were also other ambient lights coming from chargers and other things in the room. I don't know where it was coming from, but that privacy curtain blocked stuff. I was able to get dressed in my bunk, and they were going to move me this morning to a bottom bunk. The guy who owns the hostel is a former Thru hiker. He says because no hiker wants to be on an upper bunk. And he's right. But I told him I'd just stay up there because I slept well up there. I had my privacy. And it'd make it easier on them. So I'm going back to the hostel tonight. I'll be in that upper bunk, which I'm fine with, and I'll get something to eat in town. The bad news, there are 2 bad newses. The first is that I weighed myself this morning and I was 108.4. I started at 116. So that is worrisome to me. I can't lose any more weight. And yesterday my mind was not in a good place, and I suspect I was probably losing weight because when I lose weight, it messes with my mind. So I don't know what else to do any more than I'm doing. And as I mentioned, I don't remember this section at all. And he seemed to indicate that it was going to be yesterday hard today, and I honestly don't remember a lot about the rest. All of the trail up to this point has seemed very familiar. I come to a shelter, or I can picture what the shelter is going to look in my mind. I don't have any memory of what's ahead, so it must have been really traumatic for me. I mean, I do have a few memories, but I don't remember all of this climbing or the exponential rise in difficulty at this point in the trail. I remember starting to feel it in Vermont. So we'll see what the trail holds in the future, but This will be, as someone mentioned in the car this morning, which was a Tesla. That was kind of interesting. She said this will be a good active recovery day, 12 miles. And so I'm looking forward to just getting it done. I don't know how much I'm gonna take footage of today, simply because I'm wearing a day pack. If I had it to do over, I would have just taken everything out of my pack and used my pack lighter without all this stuff in it, because I don't have easy access to my shoulder pouch or my water bottle. The water bottle keeps falling out of this side pocket. My phone is in the top of the pack back here, so nothing is convenient. So I got a lot on my mind. I really think I needed this day because I was sort of feeling messed up here, and that is never a good thing. And the wife of the man even mentioned that a lot of people are in great physical shape at this point, but it's the mental that's getting them down right about now, and I would say that's true. There was a girl that did a 19-mile slack pack yesterday, and she was saying that it was hard on her also before she came into the hostel, because the water sources, the exponential difficulty of the trail all of a sudden, and she's recovering from an injury. And you can't stealth camp in a lot of New Jersey. And so we passed into New York, and there really, neither of us saw any good tenting spots. And in far out, they're warning about a mama bear with 4 cubs that's really territorial and protective. So who wants to camp alone when you've got that in front of you? So anyway, I need to get going, and this may be the one and only time I record. I'm just not sure. Please bear with me. This is a rough time, and I do appreciate your prayers, those of you who are praying for me. I guess I will talk to you later.